5 of them. Do you think I was pissed when you got number 5?
Of course you were.
Oh,
no doubt.
I told my house up.
No doubt. I bet you did.
No, I went crazy. Because when I got 4, you got 4, I was like, hey, I got 4, he got 4, let's straight. When you got that 5th one, and then hold on, you said, I just wanted to get one more.
Absolutely.
Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic?
He'd be the greatest of all time.
If Shaq had your work,
he'd be the greatest of all time.
And by the way, I'm not asking this question to create feud between you and him.
I don't care, bro. Listen, me and Shaq sit down all the time, and I say, dude, if your lazy ass was in shape.
Do you think if he would have had the same level of commitment to the game as you did, you guys would have had fewer feuds between each other?
Yeah, because I don't deal with people that don't commit at that level, but then act as if they do. I don't deal with that. I don't. It's real shit. I mean, listen.
2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
It's all about focus. I don't care who you are, where you're from, doesn't matter. You're just having a focus. Now, you wake up every single day to get better today than you were yesterday.
The Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day, you're trying to become better. And it's a constant quest. It's an infinite quest. So starting at the age of 2, when I first started playing the game, and on and on and on, I always ask questions. I always try to get better every single day, learn more.
I always think that there's 2 types of players who love to win and players who hate to lose. Which one are you?
I'm neither. I'm neither.
How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
It doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? Seriously, what does failure mean? It's not. It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. What does it mean?
You're pulling a Jedi mind trick on me right now.
Let's look at a fairy tale story. Let's look at Snow White. She gets a happy ending. She finds Prince or whatever. She goes on. She lives happily ever after. Well, I call bullshit on that, because 2 months later, the fact is they had an argument and he's sleeping on the couch. Right? So the point is, the story continues. The story continues. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm going to learn something from that failure, and I'm going to try again on Tuesday. And I fail, and I'm going to try again on Wednesday. So,
should my ratings go in the tank? That's exactly what I'm going to say to the bosses. Hey, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, but you know what?
We should try it again on Thursday.
If your ratings go in the tank, and which they won't, but if they did, you had learned a valuable lesson. You had learned a bunch of ways of how not to make a show that sucks. So then the next one will be better than the last one, right?
So much cloud of emotion, so many feelings, so much childhood baggage that you're bringing. Like, how have you always cut through that and execute on that?
What I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go, emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all. And then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. A lot of times I've seen players, even myself, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear. And to the point where you're saying, okay, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in a situation like that. And it does nothing but grow. Versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. Well, what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination.
And he fakes the ball. I mean, somebody in a Magic uniform, or even if I'm Stan Van Gundy, I consider maybe pulling Matt Barnes out and having a discussion with him, because at the end of the day, we need you on the floor. You're not going to get into the head of Kobe Bryant.
Hey guys. guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Sapphire Love. I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's been a while since I uploaded another The Power of Envy series, but for good reason. If you didn't know, I recently opened a life coaching business, so I'm open to both men and women. Also, my class this Sunday on the female ego still has some spots available, so tickets are available down below and I hope to see you there. So in today's video, we're going to be diving into the life and legacy of an iconic basketball legend, Kobe Bryant. So in the video, we're going to see how Kobe used envy as fuel and how he developed his Mamba mentality. Also, before we go into the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button so it pushes the video out there. And also make sure to comment down below because I read every comment and I love hearing you guys' opinions on my videos. And also hit the subscribe button because it's free. Welcome to the community. So grab a seat and let's get into it. Kobe Bryant, born on August 23rd, 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, came from a basketball family. His father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was a professional player, which gave Kobe early exposure to the game. After spending part of his childhood in Italy, Kobe returned to the US as a teenager with a deep love for basketball.
It was very hard getting adjusted simply because I had a lot of trouble understanding English and the slang. But one thing I had in common with some of my other students and classmates was basketball. Unfortunately, because of the lack of communication with my peers, I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go to my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. And here I am today, giving an oral presentation in English class, not only in front of Mr. Rigby's camera, but the camera of Prism and ESPN. And I enjoy it. I enjoy all the attention because it's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
He's one of the game's most dominant players, and for good reason.
I love playing basketball. There's nothing like it.
What is it you love?
This is the ball when it bounces, the sound that it makes, the smell of the basketball, the nets when you shoot the ball and it goes right through the net, the sneakers as they squeak on the wood, the strategies, the competition, the camaraderie, the fans. You just go on and on and on. I'm not afraid to fail, and I just love it. It's just an adrenaline rush. 9 seconds. Everybody in the crowd stands up, and everybody's waiting to see if you're gonna make the shot, if you're gonna lose the game, or you're gonna win the game. It's just an unbelievable rush. Sorry, I just got lost for a second.
He entered the NBA straight out of high school, making headlines as the youngest player at the time to enter the league. But here's the thing. Success wasn't immediate for Kobe, and neither was respect. From the beginning, Kobe faced envy and doubt. One of his first experiences of envy came from his own teammates when he was drafted by the Lakers in 1996.
He's had a hard time fitting in on the court, too. Since the start of his career, Kobe Bryant has been accused of not being a team player. When he takes control of a game away from the Lakers' other superstar, center ShaquilleONeal, and plays too aggressively, the Lakers sometimes lose games they should have won. This season, Bryant could feel the chill on the court.
Well, you just felt like something was amiss between you and your teammates.
Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. I mean, I go to practice and I feel a little uncomfortable. I'm like, man, what's this about? This wasn't there before. Well, something must be going on around here.
And what was it about?
Well, it was about me. It was about them thinking I was out for myself and I was being selfish, and which was totally not the case.
As a rookie, Kobe was confident. Some might even say cocky, which rubbed some veterans the wrong way. He wasn't afraid to take difficult shots, which earned him criticism from both inside and outside the team. His desire to stand out brought envy, with critics labeling him as arrogant and a show-off, especially after he won the slam dunk contest in his rookie season.
You know the knock on you earlier on. You're smiling at me. You won't smile after this, but a little arrogant, a little selfish.
Right.
So was that just insecurity and immaturity? And first of all, do you think there was any truth to it?
Well, you know, I think there's probably a little truth to it. I think, you know, in order to get to a certain level, you have to have a certain amount of selfishness to be able to drive yourself, but not to the point where it affects the balance of the group. And in my role, it was harder for me to relate to the teammates that I had. You know, at the time I came in the NBA, I was 18 years old.
Right.
My teammates were, 30 years old, 27 years old. And, I'm talking about video games, and the conversation is just completely different. So I think for me, it helped me to be able to sit back and learn and observe and, hear what people were saying about me, listen to how my teammates communicate.
Did it hurt when you were hearing it?
It hurt, but at the same time, I looked at it as a challenge. I said, okay, well, this is what the perception is. Now, how can I become better?
The other players saw this teenage kid who wasn't just trying to fit in, he was coming for greatness. ShaquilleONeal, Kobe's famous co-star on the Lakers, was one person who Kobe had a famously envious and competitive relationship. There was mutual respect, but there was also tension. Kobe's work ethic and drive were unmatched, and Shaq himself admitted later that he envied Kobe's discipline.
You think I was pissed when you got number 5?
Of course you were.
Oh,
No doubt.
I tore my house up.
No doubt. I bet you did.
No, I went crazy. Because when I got 4 and you got 4, I was like, hey, I got 4, he got 4, let's straight. When you got that 5th one, and then hold on, you said, I just wanted to get one more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
TV.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? There ain't nothing he can do about it either.
If Shaq had your work,
He'd be the greatest of all time.
By
Sure. He'd be the first to tell you that. For sure. I mean, this guy was a force like I have never seen. I mean, it was crazy. A guy at that size, generally guys at that size are a little timid and they don't want to be tall. They don't want to be big. Man, this dude he did not care. He was mean. He was nasty. He was competitive. He was vindictive. I mean, he was, yeah.
Do you think if he would have had the same level of commitment to the game as you did, you guys would have had fewer feuds between each other?
Yeah, because I listen. I don't deal with people that don't commit at that level, but then act as if they do. I don't deal with that. So, like we used to get into stuff all the time because it was like, he would say, "Okay, Kobe's not throwing me the ball," and media would take it and run with it and all sort of stuff. And I'm like, "Well, bruh, if you were in shape, by the time I run down on a fast break and run back and then run down, you're still coming down the first time, bruh. Like, what the hell do you want me to do?" Right? So a lot of our contention came from that.
And even though he was older, you were still confronting him. You didn't care.
Oh, I didn't care. Man,
from
listen,
day one,
bro.
From day one.
I knew for sure Rick Fox, my teammates, they all thought I was absolutely crazy the day me and Shaq got in a fist fight. After that day, they were like, "Okay, Kobe, you're certifiable."
Fist fight.
Oh yeah,
fist fight.
I'm not backing down. Listen, either you're gonna whoop my ass or we're gonna have a night. There's a level of respect, and for Shaq too. By the way, I know he's told me that day was a big turning point for him because it was like he's generally used to talking trash and saying what he wants and nobody really stepping up and challenging him on that. And when he saw me challenge him on that, he was like, "This kid's crazy. All right, I can win with that." And so that was kind of the beginning of our relationship, I think.
Kobe would practice for hours on end, often showing up to the gym at 4 a.m., while Shaq would rely more on his natural talents. This led to friction between the two. Despite winning 3 championships together, Kobe's desire to be the alpha dog on the team led to envy from Shaq, who didn't always take Kobe's work ethic seriously during the early years. And even after Shaq left, Kobe still faced envy and doubt. So after ShaquilleONeal left the Lakers, there was a lot of doubt about whether Kobe could win championships on his own. This created a new wave of envy and skepticism from critics and fans too. Kobe took it as a personal challenge to prove that he could lead a team by himself, ultimately winning 2 championships in 2009 and 2010 without Shaq. Why I use Kobe is he was a king of transmutation. Now, Kobe understood that with his greatness, envy isn't going to disappear. He was well aware of envy, so he used it as his advantage. Kobe faced envy not just from teammates, but from rivals too. One of the most notable rivalries was between Kobe and Allen Iverson. Iverson and Kobe were 2 of the top dogs in the league in the early 2000s. Kobe was envied for his rings, while Iverson was admired for his style and mental toughness.
In AI as a competitor, he drove me to be as more obsessive about the game because I had to figure out how to solve that problem, And I told him when I saw him here this weekend, I said, man, you don't realize how much you push me, and I don't think people nowadays realize how great you were as a player, and how big of a problem you were for defenses. I'm happy for them both.
In an interview years later, Iverson admitted that he envied Kobe's championships and his consistency, saying, "I wanted what he had. I wanted the rings." Their matchups were fierce, and envy played a key role in the competitiveness between them. Iverson wanted to prove he could outplay Kobe, while Kobe was determined to show why he was the best. Another example of envy comes from his rivalry with the Boston Celtics, specifically during the 2008 NBA Finals when the Lakers lost to the Celtics. Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and others had a deep disdain for Kobe. He was the symbol of the Lakers dynasty, and players envied him not just for his skills, but for what he represented. Kobe took that loss personally, using the envy and criticism he received after the 2008 defeat to fuel his return in 2009, where he led the Lakers back-to-back championships. And guys, this is what I preach on my channel. You have something that they don't have themselves, and that's why they envy you. That's a compliment. Use that as fuel to reach your purpose, to reach your desires. And men that are watching this right now, don't let people humble you. Don't let people humble you because you're ambitious. Throughout his career, Kobe was never the most liked by the media. He was often criticized for being too competitive and intense, which rubbed some the wrong way. The media would constantly compare him to Michael Jordan, which led to further scrutiny. People envied Kobe because he dared to chase MJ's legacy, just because he was great and he knew it. Because he wanted more for himself, they envied that. And they will envy you too, because you wanted to have more for yourself. People will hate that. They will try and humble you, and they'll try and make you feel like you shouldn't be working as hard. You shouldn't be going after your dreams. You should not be confident enough in your skills. Even though you work so hard, you shouldn't be confident in how much you work so hard. You shouldn't be confident that you're good. You need to knock yourself down a little bit. And this is why I love Kobe, because he never backed down. He never backed down. In fact, he used that envy as fuel. They hate that. Because why? He's a mirror. And a lot of you guys watching this back, you're a mirror to people. You hold that mirror in front of people. Either it's your beauty, whether you're a handsome man, a beautiful woman, you have a nice body, you're ambitious, you come from a good home. People hold that mirror in front of themselves, and then they ask themselves that question: do I have that beauty? They think to themselves, no. Do I have the skill? No. Do I have the ambition? No. So what would they do? They knock you down to their level to make themselves feel better. Actually, more people want to knock you down below them so they feel bigger than you. His infamous Mamba mentality was seen as obsessive and unhealthy by many in the media, who wouldn't comprehend why someone would push themselves so hard. I guess we're meant to be great, but just not too great where we make people feel insecure, right? Anyways, so how did Kobe respond to all of this envy? Instead of letting it break him down, Kobe used it as fuel. He was famous for saying, everything negative, pressure. Challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. He didn't shy away from the hate or envy. He embraced it. seeing it as proof that he was on the right path. Whether it was criticism from teammates, rival players, or the media, Kobe channeled all of that into his game. The more people envied him, the harder he worked, and the more success he achieved. And guys, this Mamba mentality, as a woman, it has taken me so far. Kobe's legendary 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors in 2006 is the perfect example of how he turned envy into fuel. Critics said he was a ball hog, that he couldn't make his teammates better. That night, he answered all the hate with one of the most incredible performances in NBA history. He didn't just play to win. He played to silence the envy and prove his doubters wrong. For the men and women watching, Kobe's life teaches us that envy isn't something to fear, it's something to use. People will envy you for your success, your beauty, your drive, your discipline, but it's up to you to decide how you respond. Will you let the envy slow you down? Or will you let it motivate you? Kobe chose the latter every single time. He didn't let envy derail his focus. He stayed on his path, and he used it to push himself beyond limits most people never reach. And instead of them congratulating that and admiring that, they hate on it because it makes them feel low about themselves. It reminds them of their lack. On January 26, 2020, the world tragically lost Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others in a helicopter crash. Kobe's death shook the world, not just because of his basketball achievements, but because of what he represented off the court: hard work, perseverance, and an unbreakable mindset. He left behind a legacy that goes beyond basketball, inspiring millions of people with his Mamba mentality and his relentless pursuit of greatness. But even in death, Kobe's story teaches us a valuable lesson. Life is fragile and our time is limited. He reminded us through his example that every day is an opportunity to push yourself, to be better, to not let the doubts or envy of others hold you back. Kobe lived his life fully, and though he is gone, his legacy continues to inspire people across the world. If you're facing envy, whether at work, in friendships, or just in life in general, channel it like Kobe did. Let it fuel your ambition. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep working towards your goal. Remember, envy is just a reflection of other people's insecurities. Don't let their doubts cloud your vision. I will say that again. Don't let their doubts cloud your vision. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video valuable, I'd love to see your comment down below. I try to reply to as much comment as possible. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free. And also, tickets are still available for this Sunday's class. You can purchase your tickets in the link down below. Bye. Take care.